Hi friends, welcome to Harmony Hills Home and Garden. I'm Jenny and we're gardening here in Baltimore, Maryland, Zone 7. Today I'm really excited to share with you another plant haul. Yes, I have been plant shopping again this week and I have another trunk load full of stuff to share with you. So come along with me and let's see what we got. So just this morning I posted a video about my north side garden, which is a shade garden, full shade all day long. At best it gets dappled sunlight now and again, but not very much of it. And there are two big black walnut trees that put a chemical into the ground that cause a lot of plants to struggle, or even it kills them. So I'm looking for solutions for that garden. And if you haven't seen that video, go ahead and I'll put it up here in the But anyway, so today I went out to one of my favorite nurseries, Sun Nurseries, and I picked up some plants that I think are going to maybe solve some of those problems, or at least go a little bit of the way towards solving some of the problems. So let me share with you what I have. Okay, another trunk load. I love trunk loads full of plants. Okay, I mentioned in my shade garden video that spikenard was a plant that I was going to be looking for. This is spikenard. It is a bright lime green, yellow green color chartreuse. I think in the shade it'll probably get a little bit more green, a little bit less bright, but I mean in the full shade that I have. But I got 5 of them. These are deciduous. They will fall back to the ground every year, I believe, although I'm not 100% certain about that. If you know, let me know. But I'm pretty sure they're deciduous and they'll die back every year. But they grow to be about 3 feet, maybe even 4 feet if they get the conditions they like the best. So these are going to go a long way to brightening up the dark shade that we have back in there. So look how electric they are. They're just amazing color, and I'm excited to try these out. They're supposed to do really well with the black walnuts, and they're supposed to do really well in shade. So that is excellent. Okay, what else? All right, I saw a comment on my shade video this morning. Somebody mentioned, and I don't remember who it was, I'm sorry, but somebody mentioned that I should plant something around the base of the Japanese maple volunteer plant because that plot was looking pretty empty. And that was a great idea. And there were lots of options that I could choose, but I ended up getting this Ajuga. This one is, I think it's called Burgundy Glow. The price tag sticker is covering. Yeah, Burgundy Glow Ajuga. I got 3 of them. I'm going to tuck them into the pot around that Japanese maple. And I think that the color here will pick up on the maple color and then maybe brighten it up a little bit and add some overflow over the edge of the pot. And I think this will be really nice. These actually, in the nursery, they were in the same tray as each other, and all of their foliage was intertwined with each other, and it looked like just this wonderful ground cover. So I'm hoping that all of them will fill out here in this center, and I might trim them back just to encourage a little bit of a flushing out of a new growth. So that's good. That'll help with some color in that container pot. Okay, I picked up some Pulmonaria. I've always admired this plant. I don't think I've ever grown it, and so these look a little bit worse for the wear, but these were they'll recover nicely once I get them in the ground. This one is E.B. Anderson Pulmonaria. In the spring it has big blue flowers. They look a lot like Virginia bluebells. The flowers do. So they'll, let's see. It says they want sun, but they were sold in the shade garden section. Were they? I don't know. I'm going to put them in, sun to part shade. Where's shaded? Oh yeah, here we go. I'm just reading their symbols. They want part sun to shade. I don't know what that symbol means. Ground cover. Huh. All right, and then what's this mean? Water. Plant distance is 16 inches apart, 12 inches tall. What's that? Blossom time, I guess April to June. Is that what that means? I don't know. I've never seen a plant tag like this with all these symbols. Anyway, 2 Pulmonarias. I'm going to put these in the shade garden, and I'm going to try to, they've already bloomed for the season. I'm going to try to bring them along and turn them into nice little clumps. All right, let's see. This is not for the shade garden. This is for somewhere sunny. This is spurge or euphorbia. I got 2 of those. Here's the other one. Let's see. Okay, so this spurge is called red velvet, and the picture shows red foliage. The plants show green foliage, so maybe the new foliage is red, or maybe the old foliage is red. Or maybe it turns red in the fall. Let's see. Striking foliage holds through the summer heat and intensifies in the fall. Must turn red in the fall. And it's, let's see, prune lightly after flowering. So it is currently flowering. So when those fade or something, I'll prune it down. And let's see, blooms early to late spring. So this is its bloom cycle. Plant in sun or part sun. And it grows 18 to 20 inches tall. So I have never grown euphorbia until last year. I got some Glacier Blue and I really like it, so I'm eager to try this one. Okay, this plant is new to me and I am super excited about it. When you look at this plant, you think, oh, that's something like a lamb's ear. It's fuzzy. Can you see how fuzzy that is? It's fuzzy on both sides. It is, I mean, it feels exactly like a lamb's ear, but it's a salvia. Salvia argentea. And so these plants, I saw them for the first time on Erin, the Impatient Gardener's YouTube channel. She was doing a garden tour of her summer garden last year, and I was catching up on her videos. And this plant is amazing. It will grow probably 2 to 2 feet, maybe 1.5 feet big, and with these really striking fuzzy leaves. So I'm very eager to have these. I picked up 2 of them in case I kill one. I think I'm going to put them in different locations from each other, and they're going to just serve as really interesting accent plants. I'm really excited to have these. Yes. This next plant I am very excited to try. I've never had this before either. It's called Teucrium, or otherwise known as Germander, and a lot of people grow this as actually a substitute for boxwood or a Japanese holly type of plant. It's really an interesting thing. It's semi-evergreen depending on where you live. I think here it'll be probably evergreen based on what I've been reading. And after it blooms, there are its blooms. After that, if you trim it back, it will, you can treat it like a boxwood. And you can like hedge it. If you had a whole bunch of them in a row, you could make little hedges with it. What I'm going to do, since this is a test for me, I've never grown this before, I'm actually going to put it in this pot and I'm going to treat it as if it's a boxwood topiary. Not a topiary so much, it's just a boxwood ball, but it'll be a germander ball in this brown pot, and I'm just going to put it in my flower bed in a pot and add some architectural interest to my bed and give this plant a try. I'm really excited to give it a shot. Next on my list, Heavenly Bamboo, or Nandina domestica. I have grown Nandina, the Nandina domestica, in almost every house I've ever lived in. We always have good success with these. I love the berries that they put out. They are poisonous, so don't let your pets or children eat them. But I love this plant. It is frothy. It is filler. It is multicolor. It's just a beautiful plant. I love it. And so I'm going to try this over in the shade garden. 2 things might be going wrong with it. 1, it might get too much shade over there, and 2, the black walnuts might kill it. But I did some research and I found at least one website said that it probably would work fine. So I'm going to try this plant here. I just bought one, but if these work for me, this might be a great idea to cover that fence. So I'm going to give it a shot and we'll see. And if it does live, then also you can propagate this from cuttings. So, and because I have 5 of these that are mature down by the street on the south side hill, I'll be able to take cuttings from my 5 mature ones, root them, and grow my own replacement plants to add more. I don't have to keep buying the plants. So I'm excited. I'm really, fingers crossed, hoping that this Nandina works over with the black walnuts. And as an added bonus, the Nandina coloration looks great with that spikenard, so I'm excited to have those planted in the same general vicinity as each other. And last, but certainly not least, we're giving this a shot. This is Henry's Garnet Sweet Spire, or Itea virginica. This is a shrub that will thrive in the shade. I know that. So it'll take the shade that I have. And I think my research tells me that it will take the black walnuts as well. So if this works, this will be a great option as well. So I'm really excited to try all of these shrubs over there in that side shady garden. I'm hoping that they will take the black walnuts. I think they'll all take the shade pretty well, but the black walnut, we're gonna see, especially the Nandina and the sweet spire. It's not a guarantee, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're getting ready to have some rain today, all day tomorrow, and Sunday morning. So I'm gonna see if I can get any of these into the ground today or not, but if not, I'm just gonna set them up, put them into place, and as soon as I can get them in the ground, I will. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you enjoyed what you saw. If you have experience growing these plants in deep shade, under black walnut trees, let me know if it worked for you. I'm hoping they do. If you have any other ideas for shady gardens, black walnut area, please let me know. There are some comments that are rolling in on my other video, and I'm really appreciating everything that you guys are saying over there. So thank you so much. I'm learning a lot and getting some great ideas. Keep them coming, folks. Keep them coming. I look forward to hearing from you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you can see how this stuff plays out in the garden this summer, and I will check in with you another time. Thanks so much. Have a great day, friends. Bye-bye. I've laid out some of the plants into potential spots. I'm still playing around, and I have one spikenard left over. I'm not sure where I'm going to put it. Let me show you what I've got. To start off, I put the ajuga into the base of the Japanese maple. I didn't plant them yet, but they're set in there, and I think that's going to be a nice color to have next to the hostas and the Alberta spruce. And also, as this maple grows bigger and puts on more leaves, it'll just be nicer and nicer. And the ajuga are perennials, so I won't have to worry about replacing them with more annuals next season. I think I'm going to put the first Nandina of this trial into this location right here, right beside the tree, because if it can withstand the juglone from being this close to the tree, then it can withstand it anywhere else in here. So if this works, then we'll put more Nandinas across this fence. And then one of the spikenards is going to go somewhere in here, probably not that close to the tree, but somewhere kind of in this hole, like right back in there. And so I think that this is a nice little grouping here. We've got the new new boxwood here. And so that's a nice fresh green. And so I think, yeah, we're starting to get a nice little collection in there. This did bring more gold over into this side. Someone on the comments on the Shady Garden video had said, put more gold over here, and you're absolutely right. And so these two plants here will help with that. And I put one of the other spikenards right here. I think we'll pull it a little bit closer forward into where the black-eyed Susans are. Actually, I'll probably take out a couple of the black-eyed Susans, pull the spikenard forward, kind of in a little bit to the left of and in front of this pot, and that will grow into a nice little gold shrub right there. And I think that'll be nice, another little pop of gold accent in there. Now, I want to get this out as soon as possible now, because now that I have the vision for what I want to do in here, I want to do it now, like yesterday, like get it done. So I think I'm going to work on digging this out. I don't think it's dead all the way yet, and I think it might be salvageable. So I'm going to dig it out with as many roots as I possibly can, and I'm going to transplant it over into the front yard, somewhere near that cherry tree along that current old hedge of overgrown stuff, and see if I can get it to live out there. There are no black walnuts over there. The closest one is right here. So I think it might work over there if I can get a good root ball. And that will allow me to pull this planter over. It'll be centered on where this is right now, which means that it'll be done about right here, which means I'll have this space here to work with, which means that this sweet box, or is it a sweet spire? Sweet spire. I can either put it right where I've got it setting so that it'll kind of hide that transition spot, or I could slide it over this way and then maybe put Nandinas there if the Nandinas work. So yeah, so I want to get this going now. So maybe I'll have my husband help me with that this weekend. All right, 2 more spikenards over here. This was the original vision that I mentioned in the Shady Garden video, to put one over here by this fence post and to put one over here in this corner that really picks up this yellow from the Hakanakloa, and it really picks up the yellow tones of the sum and substance hosta, and it really brightens things up. And again, both of these are going to get to be 2 to 3 feet tall, or even bigger if they like this location. So this will be a nice brightening of this corner in here. Somebody on the comments mentioned ferns. I do have a couple of ferns over here, but honestly the tree roots really dry this out, and unless I add a lot of water by hand, this stays too dry for ferns to really thrive here. That's why I haven't put more in. Those 2 that are there, they struggle every year. Actually, I think there's 3 in there now, but they all stay small. They're supposed to be ostrich ferns. They're supposed to get like 3 or 4 feet tall, but they never do because of how dry they stay. Also, there are a couple more hellebores back in here. These were little starts that I got, babies, volunteers from a friend of mine, and so that'll be some winter evergreen back in there. So this is what I've got so far. I haven't placed the last spikenard or the Pulmonaria yet. I think the Pulmonaria can go in a lot of different places. It has lots of options. So yeah, so this is what I think I'm gonna do. So thank you to those of you who've been giving me ideas for what to do over here in this garden. If you have more ideas, keep them coming. Somebody mentioned turning this planter into kind of like a window box with 3 layers, you know, a back, a middle, and a spiller. And that's a great idea. Also, somebody else mentioned something about using evergreens in there. That's a great option. So lots of ideas coming from you guys, and I really appreciate it. So keep them coming. If you have thoughts on what I should put in over here, please let me know. I will check in with you another time very soon. Have a wonderful day, friends, and I will catch you later. Bye-bye. Guess what? I'm back. I changed my mind. Surprise! So I decided to put the Nandina over here because it'll be close to a black walnut tree, and that'll be a great test to see if Nandina's working here. And if it does, then I definitely want a Nandina on that fence post transition, because they will get taller than the sweet spire would and hide more of that transition on that fence. So I decided to put the Nandina test over here, because if it works, it'll stay. And then, so that means that I put the sweet spire over with the trio of pots. And so that is the latest update. We're going to do that grouping. We're going to do the spikenards spread throughout, and we're going to do the Nandina here, and we're going to see how those work. Oh, also, I found a spot for the last spikenard. It's going to go over here in this flower bed, and actually right now there's a hellebore where I want this spikenard to go. So I'm going to move that hellebore out, put the spikenard right in front of that downspout, and that'll be a nice little cover for that eyesore. And also, it's a really nice color to add into this section of the garden. So I'm really happy with today's plant selections and the placements of them. And now it's a matter of doing the work to get them in. Again, thank you so much for all the ideas you keep bringing me. I would love to have more. Go ahead and send them on over. And for this time, for real, I'm saying goodbye. I'm going to end this video. I'm going to edit it and get it posted up. You should see it on Saturday morning. And so thank you very much, and have a wonderful day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye. So I have got all the plants into the places where I wanted them to go, and I'm really, really happy with how it's coming out. Let me give you a peek. Over here in this corner, we've got the 2 spikenard. This one looks a little tight with the plants that are here, but I think it'll be okay. The astilbe, I can pull the Astilbe off of it, and I can pull the Black-Eyed Susans off of it, and that'll be just fine. I got the Ajuga put into the planter with the Japanese maple, and I really like the way that's going to fill in. It's going to be really nice. The Sweet Spire in the ground, I love it. I love the bright white of those flowers. Really pops back there in the back corner, and it really makes the Alberta spruce stand out as a nice color too. So I love the contrast that's going on here. I'm looking forward to having those spikenards grow up into their 2 to 3 to 4 feet tall and wide forms on both sides. I can move this container if this gets too big. All right, and then over this way. This corner has really turned out nicely as well. I'm really pleased. The 2 spikenards, again, a nice bright pop of gold, and it really ties in really well with the Hakonachloa that's down here, and even the light color of the sweet woodruff and the light color of this mophead cypress really gets picked up. And so this is now a nice bright corner instead of the dark corner that it used to be. But we still do have other plants back in there. Those 3 hellebores and the ferns, they're still there. It's just now they have a foil in that gold spikenard where we can see the contrast. Nandina, I really hope that it works here. I think it's going to be, if it can survive the black walnut, I think that's going to be a really nice thing to have, hiding that joint between the 2 different fence styles. The other day I put in these goat's beards, looking forward to having them grow up. So yeah, and then we're going to get the mulch on here very soon, probably tomorrow. And yeah, this is going to be a really nice, serene garden in here. I still need to level the container. It's currently leaning forward toward us, so I need to lift up the front edge of it and then plant it up. I haven't decided what I'm going to plant in it yet. And then there's room on both sides of it to get a really big container, one on each side, and put something nice in the containers. Unless the Nandina works out, then I might put Nandinas all throughout there at least, and I don't know about over here, but so there's lots of options now. I went from not having any idea what to do in here to now I'm just brimming with ideas. So yeah, this is a nice turn of events. And let's just take a quick peek at this side too. I did put the spikenard in here. Hopefully that'll grow into a nice big clump and it will hide that downspout. And throughout here, we've got a nice assortment of foliage, textures, and colors. So this side I've always been pleased with. Not always, but lately been pleased with. So thanks for joining me here at Harmony Hills. I have ended this video now. I think this is my 4th time. I keep adding things into it, but you know what? It's all good. Time for me to go in and take a shower. Whew. I got dirt all over me, including in my hair because of, well, you know, because. So, yeah. And all of this gardening that I did today is kind of a bonus because I thought it was supposed to rain, and it hasn't really been raining. It's been sprinkling now and again, off and on. But nothing I couldn't garden through. So hey, and also the cicadas are quiet because it's only like 69 degrees and cool rain, and so the cicadas are sleeping. They don't like this weather, so they're not really making a whole lot of noise. So that's been pleasant as well. I hope you have a wonderful day, and this for real is the end of this video. Thank you for joining me, and I will catch you another time. Bye bye.